Have you ever felt like you're navigating through a storm, with waves of difficulty crashing over you, and you can't see the shore? Maybe you've lost a job, ended a relationship, or are facing a challenge that just seems too big to handle. You look up and ask, "Why is this happening to me?" It's a question we've all asked. But what if I told you that even in the midst of that chaos, there's a divine plan unfolding, a hidden purpose working for your ultimate good? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most powerful and reassuring promises in the entire Bible, Romans 8:28. It says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Let's break that down because it's more than just a nice phrase, it's a lifeline. This verse doesn't promise a life without problems. It doesn't say bad things won't happen. Instead, it offers a profound truth. No matter what happens, the good, the bad, the confusing, God is able to weave it all together into a beautiful tapestry for our benefit. Think about that for a moment. Not some things, but all things. This idea can be hard to grasp, especially when you're in pain. How can losing a loved one be for my good? How can this financial struggle possibly lead to something positive? These are valid questions. The key lies in understanding God's perspective, which is so much bigger than our own. Imagine a master weaver working on a giant, intricate tapestry. If you're standing right underneath it, all you see are tangled threads, knots, and a messy jumble of colors. It looks chaotic and makes no sense. But if you could step back and see it from the weaver's point of view, from above, you'd see a stunning masterpiece taking shape. Every thread, even the dark and rough ones, has a crucial role in creating the final, beautiful image. That's what God is doing in our lives. Our struggles, our heartbreaks, our failures, those are the dark threads. We can't see how they fit, but from His eternal perspective, He is using them to build character, to teach us resilience, to deepen our faith, and to shape us into the people He created us to be. Joseph in the book of Genesis is a perfect example. His brothers sold him into slavery. He was falsely accused and thrown into prison. From his perspective, his life was one disaster after another. But God was weaving. Years later, when Joseph stood before his brothers as a powerful ruler in Egypt, he was able to say, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." He saw the finished tapestry. He understood that every single painful step was necessary to save an entire nation from famine. So, how does this apply to you right now? Think about a difficult time in your past. Can you look back now and see any good that came from it? Maybe a tough breakup taught you what you truly value in a partner. Maybe losing a job pushed you to discover a passion you never knew you had. Sometimes, we can only see God's handiwork in the rearview mirror. This verse, Romans 8:28, encourages us to trust that He is working even when we can't see it in the present moment. It's a call to faith. But there's a condition, isn't there? The verse says God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. This isn't a universal guarantee for everyone, regardless of their relationship with God. It's a specific promise for those who have answered His call and are actively trying to live within His will. Loving God means trusting Him, seeking His guidance, and aligning our lives with His purpose. It's about relationship. When we are in that relationship, we are essentially giving the Master Weaver permission to work with the threads of our lives. What does it mean to be called according to His purpose? It means recognizing that your life isn't an accident. You were created with a unique mission. God has a specific plan for you, a role for you to play in His grand story. Living out this purpose might not look glamorous. It might be raising a family with love, being a person of integrity at your workplace, or serving your community in small, unseen ways. When we live for His purpose, instead of just our own temporary happiness, we open ourselves up to see how He orchestrates everything, the successes and the setbacks, to fulfill that greater plan. So here's a question for you to reflect on. Are you actively seeking His purpose for your life? Or are you letting the storms of life dictate your direction? Romans 8:28 is an invitation to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can start to ask, "God, what are you trying to teach me through this? How can the situation be used for your glory and for my ultimate good?" This change in mindset is transformative. It turns victims into victors. It turns despair into hope. It allows us to find peace even when the world around us is in turmoil. Because our hope isn't based on our circumstances being perfect. Our hope is based on the character of God, who is perfect and who is always at work. Think of a GPS in your car. Sometimes it tells you to take a detour. You might be frustrated because it seems like a longer, more complicated route. You don't understand why. But the GPS has more information than you do. It knows there's a major accident or a roadblock on your usual path. It's guiding you on the best possible route, even if it feels inconvenient at the time. Romans 8:28 is our spiritual GPS. It reminds us that God sees the entire map. He knows the roadblocks and the dead ends we can't see. We just need to trust His guidance, even when the path looks strange. This promise should fundamentally change how we face challenges. When a difficulty arises, instead of panicking, we can take a deep breath and remind ourselves, God is in this. He is weaving. He will bring good from this. This doesn't mean we don't grieve or feel pain. Those feelings are real and valid. But it means that our pain doesn't have the final say. Our hope is anchored in something much stronger. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, hold on to Romans 8:28. Speak it out loud. Remind your soul of this unshakable truth. Let's make this practical. What is one area of your life right now that feels chaotic or painful? I want you to bring that situation to mind. Now, I invite you to pray this simple prayer. God, I don't understand this situation, but I choose to trust you. I believe your promise in Romans 8:28 that you can work this for my good because I love you and want to follow your purpose. Show me the next step. Holding on to this verse is an active choice, a daily discipline of faith. It's choosing to look for the master weaver's hand in the middle of the mess. And when you start looking, you'll be amazed at what you find. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore this incredible promise. I hope it brings you as much comfort and strength as it brings me. If this message resonated with you, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content that helps us apply God's Word to our daily lives. And I have a special request. If you have an intention or a situation where you need God to work things for good, please share it in the comments below. Let's create a community of faith, praying for one another and encouraging each other to trust in the Master Weaver. I'll be reading your comments and praying for you. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.